We got the Tesla numbers. Should we do?
Yeah, I was just do them? The stock's down 6%.
Stock's down. Let's go. All right, Phil's got the numbers for us as well. You want to just do that? What do you think, Jim? I want to check with you first.
Phil, please.
Phil, take it away. Give us those Tesla numbers.
These are not good, David. That's why the stock is down. Deliveries in the first quarter of 387,000 vehicles. Let me put that into some perspective. The FactSet consensus as of Friday, and it had been coming down, was for 457,000 vehicles to be delivered. First quarter of last year, the company delivered 422,000. So this is a year-over-year decline, the first since 2020 that we've seen from Tesla. And in terms of production, the company produced 433,000 vehicles. They do point out the fact that they had the change in the ramp-up in production in Fremont as they come up with the new Model 3 Highland edition. They also had the Red Sea issue, also the issue with production at the Gigafactory in Berlin. Not said by the company, but clearly one of the main factors, guys, what's happening in China. And we know what's happening there as they have lowered their production, and we've seen the announcements or the reports come out of China, and that clearly has an impact here. That's why the stock is under the pressure that you're seeing right now. Again, 387,000 vehicles delivered in the first quarter. The street was expecting 457. Even some of the bearish analysts were expecting, 410, 415, not 387. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
Quick.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, Phil, full year estimates, I guess we can say goodbye to some two handles, right?
Oh, I think that's a given. I think that's a given. Most were already bringing them under 2. We had a few people saying 1.91 million deliveries for the year as the estimate that they were putting out there. For some perspective, and I don't know if we can pull up the chart that we have showing annual deliveries, they delivered 1.81 million vehicles last year. And if they were to go to 1.92, 1.93, that would be about an 8% increase in deliveries. Now the question becomes, do they hit 1.81 million? Is there a possibility that they don't even make that? That possibility is out there, but it's early, and a lot of things can change. Obviously, production is likely to come back much stronger, and deliveries should improve in Europe. They've been clearing out a lot of inventory in the first quarter, and if things start to firm up a bit, then certainly we expect higher numbers in the second, third, and fourth quarter. To what extent remains to be seen. China's the wild card in all of this, guys. They are brutally competitive in terms of what's happening with EVs and EV pricing, and that's having an impact. There's no doubt that that's having an impact on Tesla. And remember, Shanghai is not just where they supply China, but that's also where they supply other markets around the world. So they can offset some of the impact of just pure China and the competition there in terms of vehicles being shipped to other markets out of the Gigafactory in Shanghai. But there's no doubt that this competition in China has had an impact.
Now, Phil, I know that the United States is not at the fulcrum. It is China, and I know the problems in Berlin. But there's this kind of this newfound, we don't want to go electric. We want ICE. We also are willing to have hybrid. In this country, it has reached
Americans are embracing hybrids right now.
But it's not what. If you're someone who wants us to electrify and get off of nuclear, go to nuclear and get off of coal and get off of nat gas, it's not going to come together at that level.
No, but that's not how consumers think, Jim.
No,
I think there's very few people in this world who sit there and think, well, ultimately, is the fuel source for this a coal-burning power plant? Is it nuclear? Is it hydropower? That's not how consumers think. You know that. The way a consumer thinks is, what's the best option for me price-wise? And then also, am I comfortable making this transition? And there is no doubt that the recharging issues in this country are a huge issue. The first adopters, they could live with it. Not the people who are now looking at buying a vehicle now. And I hear this time and again from my friends who are considering buying an electric car. Almost all of them say the same thing. If I'm in Chicago and I've got to drive to Cincinnati or St. Louis or Minneapolis, I ain't doing it in an electric vehicle. Otherwise, I got to sit there and plan some ridiculous charging.
We test drove Rivian. All I could think of was like what happens on 95. On 95, like, am I going to push it to a road, to a rest stop? I mean, it's worry.
Hey, Phil. The company reports obviously April 23rd, so we'll get a lot more details then in terms of price cuts, what actually meant to underlying cash flows. You were in Chile not that long ago. You mentioned the production out of the Shanghai factory, but give us a sense in terms of your expectations in competition in other markets where the Chinese can come in with vehicles that are still priced far below what Tesla's able to do.
Not only are they priced below what Tesla's able to do in electric vehicles for the most part, because of the advantages that they have in terms of scale, in terms of labor costs in China. But on top of that, David, when you go to a place like Chile, the thing that you notice is that the internal combustion engine vehicles, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 cheaper from a Chinese automaker compared to a comparable vehicle. We compared one from Great Wall versus a Toyota. They were both mid-size SUVs. No comparison at all. And when we talked with consumers, they all said the same thing. It's pretty good. Why wouldn't I buy it? It's $5,000 cheaper. And that's the competition that not just Tesla, but all automakers are facing. And in terms of EVs, yes, Tesla is king of the hill in the United States and was king of the hill up until the fourth quarter with BYD. Full year numbers, I think BYD probably passes them this year. They're still very formidable, and they've got a lot of advantages. But they are facing a period here where they've got to deal with softness in a number of key markets.
Phil, you're right, and we'll get to the Rivian numbers that we got this morning. Got a downgrade of NIO, talk some Xiaomi in a little bit. That's our Phil LeBeau on Tesla's disappointing Q1 delivery.